Hello, ESL114 students. Welcome to week 10 of instruction. This will be our first week of all online instruction, so I'll try to be super clear about what you're supposed to do. So listen carefully to this video for Tuesday, March 24th. Okay, so my goal for today is to skim through very quickly units 5 and 6 of your textbook. I'll just talk a little bit about the most important stuff to remember. And then you're going to do listening for Unit 7. All right, so first of all, in Unit 5 is about job applications. A lot of employers still use handwritten job applications. And when they do that, it's important to remember a few things. One is when you fill out a job application, they want you to use block print, not cursive. So use block print consistently throughout the whole application. Don't mix it with cursive. It should be all block print. And then also use a dark pen, not a pencil. Now here's the hard part. Don't cross anything out. So because you're using pen, that's a little difficult. So I recommend photocopying the application, filling it out on the copy so that you have all your information in one place, and then very carefully handwrite very neatly the one that you're going to turn in. Now when you do that, make sure that you don't leave any empty spots. If there is a question that you do not have an answer for, you can write NA. That means not applicable. That means you saw the question, but it does not apply to you. Also, when it comes to numbers, be careful. Americans expect number 1 to look like that. If they see this, they get a little confused because it looks a whole lot like the American number 7. So be careful to use the American 1 and the American 7 because they get confused by those. Okay? So that's basically it for the job applications. You can see on page 108 an example of someone who mixes block print and cursive. Don't do that. Just use block print, dark pen, no crossouts, and write NA if you have any questions that you don't have an answer for because it doesn't apply to you. Let's see, anything else? So that means don't leave any blank spaces. Okay, that's Unit 5 basically. In Unit 6, it's a little bit about filling out about your education. So here is a summary of what they had there. For example, if you finished high school and you graduate from high school, that means you have a diploma. So you would write diploma and the year that you got it. If you finish community college and you get a degree, that's called the associate's degree, either the AA, the Associate of Arts, or the AS, Associate of Science. That depends on your focus. So the AA and the AS, those are degrees you get from community college. They're considered 2-year degrees because after you get all of your English and math basics out of the way, and you're only working on your major, it should take 2 years. So if you're working on a degree, you can put AA or AS and then the year that it's expected in 2021. Okay? Next, the BA or the BS, those are called the bachelor's degree. Those are considered 4-year degrees from universities. BA stands for Bachelor of Arts, BS, Bachelor of Science, depending on your focus. If you have one of those from your previous country, you can write BA and the year that you got it. They'll also want to know the name of your school. After the bachelor's degree, if you study for a couple more years, you can get the master's degree. The MA is a Master of Arts. The MS is the Master of Science. If you already have a master's degree from your country, you would write either MA and the year you got it and the name of your school. After the master's degree comes the PhD. I looked online and it says that on average, some less, some more, It takes about 8 years to finish the PhD, also called the doctorate degree. These are degrees generally that you can get through the UC system, like UC Davis, UC Berkeley. The master's degrees, bachelor's degrees are commonly given out at either a UC or CSU, like Sac State. You can get these at either one. But for the PhD, generally you need to go to a UC. Okay, so those are the degrees. Their names, their abbreviations, and how you can use them on your job applications and resume. Now, for Unit 7, we're finally getting into it. It's called Preparing for the Interview. It's important to remember when you're preparing for it, if you have an interview coming up, there's some things you really need to make sure you do. For example, the day before the interview, make sure you double and triple check the date, the time, the location, and your transportation. Then spend some time learning about that job. Learn about the company and what they do, what kind of business it is. Try and find out some of the job duties and try and find out the salary for that job. Then collect all your necessary documents so you can bring in your resume, your identifications, your references, whatever information they ask you to bring. Get that all ready. Also, practice some typical interview questions, and that's what we're going to be doing from now to the end of the semester. Set out your clothes so that you know they're clean and looking good, no missing buttons, everything's together for your clothes. And if you have kids, make sure you have childcare. Okay, so those are the things you need to do before the job interview. Now, what you're going to do, your homework, is to go to page 158, Unit 7, do listening number 1, and then continue through that unit all the way. You're going to do listening 3 and listening 5, all the way through to page 163, listening 10. Then I want you to read page 165 very carefully. It's called Talking About Money. In the job interview, sometimes they will say something like, they will ask something like, so what salary are you looking for? And it's really important to be prepared for that question. You don't want to say something like, well, I'm open, because that leaves you open to being taken advantage of and giving the lower salary. So it's really important for you to do a little bit of research to find out what the salary is for that job. If you have friends that work there, you can ask them. But if you don't, you can go to salary.com, type in the job title, type in Sacramento, California, and they will give you a job description and salary, average salary for that job. That way, when they ask you, so what salary are you looking for? You can answer with an intelligent answer like this. Well, according to my research, the average salary for this position is about $40,000 a year, and I'm fine with that. Okay, that shows them that you've done your research and that they can't pay you less than the average. Now that is the topic of your next homework assignment. You'll have 1 week to do spoken exercise number 4. So click on spoken exercise number 4 to get more directions. But what you're going to basically do is record yourself answering the money question. So what salary are you looking for? You're going to need to do some research for your particular job to find out what the average salary is so you can answer that question intelligently. Now remember, Fanny is available to practice answering questions with you. She's a math whiz. She knows numbers. She can help you make sure that you're saying your salary numbers correctly, because I know talking about big numbers sometimes can be a little confusing. So do feel free to contact Fanny to practice your answer before you record it. Okay? So that's it. That's your new spoken exercise homework. Continue. First do the listening exercises, then do the research, Then practice your answer to the money question, and then post your answer in spoken exercise number 4. I hope that you're all well, staying home, taking good care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you next Thursday. Bye.